Balakrishnan. First of all, let me welcome the esteemed members of or shareholders of Steel Authority of India Limited. Before I go ahead and make my AGM speech today, let me inform you that Government of India has decided to reconstitute the board of the company. Earlier, the board consisted of chairman, director commercial, director technical, director finance, director projects and business planning, director raw materials, and director personnel as the functional directors of the company. In addition, we were having two GOI nominee director, Government of India nominee director, that is joint secretary from the Ministry of Steel, and additional secretary and financial advisor also from the Ministry of Steel, and independent directors as per the Companies Act. In addition to this, we were having 5 chief executive officers of integrated steel plant as permanent invitees to the board. So board in total was having 18 members plus 5 permanent invitees. The Ministry of Steel, Government of India has intimated us about the reconstitution of the board on 25th September 2020. Since this event has occurred before the date of this AGM, so I thought I must put on record the reconstitution which has taken place. Now the reconstituted board will consist of chairman, director commercial, director finance, director personnel. The position of director projects and business planning and raw materials and logistics, they have since been merged with the position of director technical, and the new designation for director technical is director technical projects and raw materials. In addition to this, we will also be having 4 directors in charge for our 5 integrated steel plants. One for Bhilai Steel Plant, one for Bokaro Steel Plant, one for Rourkela Steel Plant, and one combined for Durgapur Steel Plant and ISCO Steel Plant, Banpur. In addition to this, as we are having or we were having earlier 2 GOI nominees, and independent directors will be there as per the Companies Act. As per the reconstituted board, there will not be any permanent invitee to the board. Now our board will consist of 22 members. Thank you. Again, before I go ahead with my AGM speech, I would like to introduce my directors, my fellow colleagues on the board. From my right, I have Ms. Soma Mandal, Director Commercial. I have with me Shri Harinand Rai, Director Technical, Projects and Raw Material. And on my left, I have Mr. M.B. Balakrishnan, he is the Company Secretary of the company. And we have Shri Amit Sen as Director Finance of the company. As I just now said that there has been reconstitution of the board, and 2 of the positions of Director in charge Bhilai Steel Plant and Director in charge Bokaro Steel Plant, they are filled up. Shri Anirban Das Gupta, who was in between the Director Projects and Business Planning, has taken over the charge as Director in charge of Bhilai Steel Plant through VC. He is available in the meeting through VC from Bhilai. Shri Amrendu Prakash, he is the new director in charge of Bokaro Steel Plant. He is also present in the meeting through VC from Bokaro. Let me take this opportunity to introduce our esteemed independent directors. We have with us Shri K.K. Gupta, Shri Krishnan Kumar Gupta. He is the independent director and also he is the chairman of the audit committee and nomination and remuneration committee. He has joined us through VC from Mumbai. We welcome him. We have with us Shri N. Shankarappa, independent director and chairman of Stakeholders Relationship Committee and CSR Committee. He has joined us through VC from Raichur. I am also welcoming the nominee of the President of India, Shri G.P. Meena, Director, Ministry of Steel, who is attending this meeting through VC from his office in New Delhi. I would like to mention that Shri Vijay Kumar Singh and Shri Puneet Kansal, the government nominee directors of the company, could not attend this meeting due to certain prior engagements. Let me take this privilege of introducing you to all of you, 2 of the CEOs who are still there and they will continue to be there till the time of their superannuation. So we have with us Mr. Deepak Chhatral, who is joining this meeting through VC from Rourkela. He is the CEO of Rourkela Steel Plant. We also have with us CEO of Durgapur and ISP, Mr. A.V. Kamlakar. He is joining this meeting through VC from the respective plant. And I would also like to welcome the representatives of Joint Statutory Auditors and the Secretarial Auditors who are also attending the meeting. So I proceed to give my AGM speech for the day. Esteemed shareholders, I extend my heartiest greetings and a warm welcome to all of you on the occasion of 48th Annual General Meeting of your company. Hope you and your families have been keeping safe and healthy. You are already aware of the havoc wreaked globally by COVID-19 pandemic. Our country has also been significantly impacted by the same. SAIL has its presence pan-India and its plants and units are the epicenter of the ecosystem in their respective locations. I would therefore like to first apprise you briefly on the measures taken by SAIL plants and units in restricting the spread of COVID-19 at their locations. I would like to inform you that SAIL activated a scaled response for management of COVID-19 outbreak at plants and units and township, which included quite a few measures. Some of them I am going to narrate. Round-the-clock duty roster of doctors and paramedics at SAIL hospitals, designation of nodal officers at all SAIL hospitals, constitution of COVID response teams, healthcare providers and workers of SAIL plants brought under the ambit of ₹50 lakh insurance coverage launched by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Doctors and other healthcare workers undertook the integrated government online training courses on the iGOT online platform of DOPT for familiarizing themselves on the COVID-19 protocols. Display of information from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for wider dissemination, facilitation of making of masks and sanitizers by self-help groups, distribution of dry fruit packets and cooked meal to the needy persons in support of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, preventive measures at plant, units, mines, offices including compulsory temperature screening, installation of sanitation machines, roster-based deployment, suitable seating arrangements, meeting over video conference, etc. Wide publicity on usage of Arogya Setu app by the employees at SAIL plants and units and public at large. This also earned the appreciation from none other than Honorable Prime Minister himself on Twitter. While fighting with COVID-19 pandemic, on one hand, your company ensured that the production continued in the company in line with the market demand while making use of the time available to carry out plant repairs by preponing them from the original schedule. Some of the actions taken by SAIL plants and units were making optimum utilization of operational facilities instead of operating greater number of facilities at suboptimal levels. Reduction in cost by reducing consumption level for various inputs. Preponement of capital repairs wherever feasible, identifying products whose sales were not impacted significantly and where production can be improved immediately, like rails, wheels, steel for defense requirement. Maximizing sales volume through potential channels like export, dispatch to Indian Railways, reducing cash outflows by reviewing commitments, renegotiating contracts, etc. Preparedness for quick ramp up as soon as the lockdown was lifted. Let me briefly talk to you about the company's performance. The annual report of the company containing inter alia the report of the Board of Directors and the audited accounts for the year ended 31st March 2020 along with the reports of the statutory auditors and Comptroller and Auditor General of India have already been circulated, and with your permission I shall take them as read. To briefly apprise you on the performance and achievements of your company during the financial year 2019-20, which has been the year of sustaining profitability, some of these certain events highlights I am going to state before you. Despite challenging market conditions which saw the average net sales realization, the price which we get after all expenses including freight, this is the ex-plant price, declined by 12% over the previous year. The determined efforts and strategic initiatives taken by your company saw the EBITDA in FY20 rise by 9% to rupees 11,999 crore as against 10,283 crore in FY19. However, due to higher depreciation and finance cost, the profit after tax on standalone basis came down to 2,022 crore in FY20 as against 2,178 crore in the previous year. On consolidated basis, the profit after tax stood at 2,121 crore for FY20 as against 2,348 crore in FY19. Key factors contributing to upside for the financial performance included best ever saleable steel production as well as sales volume at 15.083 million ton and 14.231 million ton respectively. Improvement in techno-economic parameters like blast furnace productivity and specific energy, reduction in prices of inputs like imported coking coal, salary and wages, royalty on iron ore, etc. also helped in improving the performance. The financial performance was also aided by the positive impact of rail pricing, which was pending since financial year 2016 and got finalized during the year through persistent efforts and recognition of inventory of iron ores fine lying hitherto unrecognized in the books as per the accounting principles. FY20 saw a number of new records being created. Your company became the highest producer of crude steel in the country by producing 16.155 million ton during the year. And this happened despite the fact that due to economic slowdown, we had to cut down our production in between. Production of steel through continuous cast route clocked the best ever performance of 14.6 million ton with a growth of 6% over previous best at 13.8 million ton in FY19. Highlight, however, was rails, the single most important product in the basket of sale. The production of rails quite considerably crossed the 1 million ton mark for the first time. The production at 12.85 lakh ton, the best ever, showed a growth of 30% over previous year. The previous year this figure was at 9,85,000 ton. Production from new universal rail mill at 5.38 lakh ton showcased a growth of 46% over previous year. Previous year it was at 3.69 lakh ton. The dispatch of long rail stood at 6.33 lakh ton, growth of 43% over previous year. Previous year it was at 4.41 lakh ton. The proportion of long rails in the overall dispatches also improved to 52% from 48% in the previous year. During the year, your company became the largest miner for steel making inputs in the country by mining 32.41 million ton of total minerals. This included 29.28 million ton of iron ore, thereby again meeting the company's entire requirement of iron ore from captive sources. Your company got the twin permission from the Ministry of Mines for selling 25% of its total mineral production of the previous year and disposal of the old stock of 70 million ton of low-grade iron ore fines, including slime, lying dumped across different captive mines of the company. The process for sale of fresh mines has already been commenced in the state of Odisha, whereas efforts are being made for obtaining approval from respective states in other cases also. The current financial year started on quite a challenging note on account of COVID-19 pandemic. The domestic demand practically dried up in the month of April following the unavoidable lockdown. Your company immediately turned to the opportunities available in export market for ensuring cash flows under control. Accordingly, the results were impacted significantly and the company's bottom line went into red. However, the markets have since picked up quite well, especially in the flat product segment, and your company has taken the full advantage of this situation to post its best ever monthly sales for the months of June, July and August. The domestic sales during these months have been the highest in the country. With focus on exports, your company has reached the 1 million ton mark within the first half of the financial year 2021. I'm very happy to share with you that in the second quarter of the current financial year, there has been a growth of 31% in sales. And we are quite hopeful that in the coming time, this growth trajectory will be maintained because we have been getting tremendous support from the market. And also our facilities are in the best shape and we can always step up our production to meet the requirement of the market. Your company has continuously been building capacities across the steel plants. Let me talk about some of the major achievements in this regard. Bhilai Steel Plant successfully completed the hot trial of Argon Bridging Station 3 and Ladle Furnace 3 of Steel Refining Unit at Steel Melting Shop 3 in May 19 and August 19 respectively. Further, hot trial of Converter 3 were also completed in February 20. Rourkela Steel Plant lighted up the reheating furnace number 1 of new hot strip mill on 25th January 19 with hot trial of new hot strip mill starting on 29th January 2020 at Rourkela Steel Plant. Bokaro Steel Plant under modernization of SMS-1, first hit was taken from the basic oxygen furnace converter on 22nd May 2019 and the converter is in regular operation. Under upgradation of stoves of blast furnace 1, heating of all 3 stoves started during July 19 and completed in August 19. The stoves were put into operation with blowing in of blast furnace number 1 at Bokaro Steel Plant on 8th January 2020. The National Steel Policy 2017 envisages crude steel production capacity in the country to be increased to 300 million ton by the year 2030-31, that is the turn of the next decade, in order to maintain its leadership position in the country. And as a Maharatna CPSE, your company has also come up with Vision 2030, wherein it aspires to increase its crude steel production capacity to 50 million ton by the year 2030-31. Your company also continues to be the trustworthy nation builder, as we have been supplying steel for all major national infrastructure projects, proudly associating ourselves with India's economic and industrial progress and development by contributing to important and strategic sectors like defense, railways, metro, infrastructure, space, power, manufacturing, irrigation, etc. SAIL effected supplies to strategic prestigious projects such as India's first and the biggest indigenous artillery gun Dhanush, Chandrayaan-2, Mangalayan, Jiribam Tupul Imphal broad gauge railway project in Manipur, which is the world's tallest girder railway bridge, Anji Khat Cable State Bridge Project, Jammu and Kashmir, Char Dham Mahamarg Vikas Pariyojana, Rawat Bhata and Kakrapara Atomic Power Plant, other power projects like Naveli Lignite Power Plant at Ghatampur in UP, NTPC Patratu Power Plant in Jharkhand, Chausa Thermal Power Plant in Bihar, Yadadri Power Plant in Telangana and Ennore Power Plant in Tamil Nadu, Western Dedicated Freight Corridor, etc. The latest feather in the cap has been the supply of majority steel for the strategically important Atal Tunnel, which was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister on 3rd October 2020. Now let me talk about the contribution of the company to Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vocal for Local. Your company has always been a part of the government-led initiatives like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana, Prime Minister Awas Yojana, Skill India, ban on single-use plastic, Mission Purvodaya, etc. In the wake of severe impact on economy of the country during the COVID-19 pandemic, Honorable Prime Minister has given the clarion call for making India prosper through self-reliance, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vocal for Local. SAIL has been the front runner in taking forward the initiative by developing and producing import substitute steel products. This goes across the various sectors of the Indian economy, be it railways, defense, oil and gas, construction and infrastructure, etc. Some of the products developed by SAIL I am mentioning: superior performance rails, namely R260 grade and wheels for high-speed LHB coaches for Indian Railways; special quality steel complying to the requirement of country's defense forces for use in armor plates, gun carriers, ammunition testing and bulletproof applications; API X70 steel in the line pipe grade for oil and gas sector, and high tensile, fire resistance, weather resistant structural steel and seismic grade TMT parts for construction and infrastructure sector. The company took several marketing initiatives during the financial year, and they are still on because we are fully aware that in the coming time we will be required to market a huge quantity of steel. Your company took various initiatives to increase the presence in the different areas by targeting defined marketing segments. This included launch of brand SAIL Secure for improving the brand value for TMT produced from the new mills at ISP and Bhilai Steel Plant, ISCO Steel Plant and Bhilai Steel Plant, during the FY 2019-20. It is expected that in the coming years, this brand will not only contribute to the top line, but will also meet the quality expectation of retail sector, thereby driving the brand presence of the company. Your company has been organizing seminars, workshops, lecture sessions for opinion makers, consumers, designers, etc., and also working with engineering students and academicians to popularize use of the steel in designing in general and structural under next brand name in particular. Further, with a focus on tapping the vast potential of rural India, your company has been organizing workshops in various states and union territories under its Save Steel Gaon Ki Aur campaign. This is a continuous process. Last year we organized 180 workshops, and this year again we intend to organize these many numbers or maybe more than that to take our steel to the rural areas. With focus on small consumers, 6.70 lakh tons of steel was sold through the retail marketing channels. SAIL has initiated the process for establishment of robust distribution channels for business to business and business to consumer segments. Two-tier distribution channel for sales of reinforcement bars to retail customers is now in operation with 37 distributors. A pilot project for single-tier distribution channel for small business to business consumers has been commenced in the financial year 2021. As a consequence of persistent efforts, your company achieved its best ever sales volume of over 14.231 million ton during the financial year 2019-20. With emphasis on strengthening its presence in the international market, the company made persistent efforts to explore new markets. With quantum jump, your company achieved its highest ever exports at 1.18 million ton during the FY 2019-20, substantial growth of over 54% over the previous year. The marketing team led by Director Commercial deserves to be complimented for this wonderful achievement. Sustainable steel maker SAIL is fully aware of the environment concern, and as a environmentally conscious corporate, all plants and mines of your company strive not to disturb the ecological balance by operating within the ambit of notified environmental standards with respect to air emission, water discharge and noise pollution, and rules pertaining to eco-friendly management of various waste generated. These efforts have resulted in improved performance by sustainability parameters like specific PM emission load, which is at 0.69 kg per ton of crude steel, specific carbon emission, which is at 2.54 ton per ton of crude steel, and specific effluent load, which is at 0.82 kg per ton of crude steel, registering improvement of 1.4%, 1.2% and 4.7% respectively over CPLY. Displaying its waste management skills, SAIL increased its total solid waste utilization to more than 88%. Your company has been taking all appropriate measures to restore and rehabilitate the degraded ecosystem, maintain and enhance biodiversity, restoration of mined out areas, fresh plantation, structured plantation program are being carried out every year in SAIL plants and mines. More than 4.44 lakh saplings were planted during the financial year 2019-20, taking the cumulative plantation by SAIL to 21.04 million, that is 2.104 crore since inception. Now let me talk about the corporate governance norms which have been following in our company. Your company is committed to the highest standards of corporate governance which are reinforced in its vision and credo. The philosophy of the company in relation to corporate governance is to ensure transparency, disclosures and reporting that conforms fully to laws, regulations and guidelines including the Companies Act 2013, SEBI LODR Regulations 2015 and the DP guidelines. The company promotes ethical conduct with the primary objective of enhancing shareholders' value while being a responsible corporate citizen. Your company believes that building trust will enhance its reputation and boost the confidence of its investors and stakeholders. In line with this, SAIL has been proactively and regularly sharing key information with all stakeholders through use of different communication channels. I take this opportunity to inform you that pursuant to the circulars from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the current annual general meeting, that is 48th annual general meeting of the company, is being held through video conferencing as well as other audio visual means, providing our far spread shareholders an opportunity to attend the AGM, which otherwise was difficult as per the earlier practice requiring physical presence. Let me give you an outlook of the steel industry in India as also worldwide. The onset of COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the future projections for the global economy quite adversely. IMF has projected the world growth outlook for the year 2020 at minus 4.9%. The decline in 2020 is triggered by drop in consumption levels linked to the labor market and weaker inflation data and prevailing uncertainty. The silver lining in the cloud is the growth rate of 5.4%, which has been projected for the financial year 2021. Similar sentiments have been echoed in the short-range outlook published by World Steel Association in June 20. It has been forecast that global steel demand will contract to 1.645 billion tons, that is 1654 million tons in 2020, a decline of 6.4% over 2019. Again, the growth projected for 2021 is at 3.8%, which augurs well for the steel industry in the longer run. In India, the slide in consumption rate for the steel during 2020 has been projected at 18% and subsequent 15% spike in 2021, which is even sharper. However, in our country, government had started taking proactive measures to revive the economy during the period of lockdown itself. The stimulus package announced by the government has been a big step in this direction, leading to pickup in many sectors much faster than expected. I have already talked to you about the performance which we have given in the second quarter, and that robust performance is still on, and I can assure you that in the coming time, steel is not going to have a look back, but we will be moving forward only. And if we go to some more data, the GST collection during the month of September 20 has grown by 4% over CPLY, indicating higher economic activities in the economy. For the manufacturing sector, the purchasing managers index PMI at 56.8 has shown the economy as getting back on track in September 20, which is the highest since January 21. In the agriculture sector, a good monsoon and growth in tractor sales touching almost 18% for some of the companies shows the economy is moving forward at a decent pace. And you are also aware of how the auto sector has picked up in the month of September. Maruti, which is the largest manufacturer of automobiles, passenger automobiles in the country, has shown a robust growth of 31%, and the similar type of growth has also been shown by the other automobile companies. This is definitely a good indication for the steel industry. And it is more of sentimental also. If the automobile industry has been doing well in the country, that has a direct impact on the steel industry. And as I said earlier, in case of steel, the steel consuming industries like auto, tube, oil and gas, construction, fabrication have all shown significant improvement in their performance during the past month. The auto sector, which had been hitherto passing through a challenging phase for quite some time, most notably has shown a hefty growth. All this has been driving the demand of steel in a fast forward mode since June 2020. Let me acknowledge the contribution of my stakeholders. At the end, I take this opportunity to thank all who have contributed towards the improved performance of the company. I must thank our valued customer, trusted suppliers, the central and state government, and our talented employees who have always stood by the company and contributed in the progress of SAIL. I also convey my sincere thanks to the Ministry of Steel for its continued guidance and support. As the scenario and performance of the company improves, I hope that in the coming years, the company will be able to meet the expectation of all its stakeholders, and I look forward to their continued support and unflinching trust. Thank you very much.